Hello and welcome. This is Unit 6, and Unit 6 is the first of 3 units that are in Sprint 1. Units 6, 7, and 8 represent Sprint 1. So the first thing we want to do is our planning for the sprint. So let's begin here. With reading of Chapter 19. There's some pages there for you to read, and then to reply or to create a thread entitled Sprint Planning, and to reply to these 5 questions, and post your thread with your answers to those 5 questions. Actually, you type out the question and then the answer, as you've been doing, and everybody has been doing a good job with, on Saturday by the end of the day, so that whoever you're paired up with has an opportunity to reply by the end of the day on Sunday. So then we're going to do sprint planning as a team. It begins with identifying the goal for the sprint. So this would be a subset, if you will, of your product vision, and it'll be specific to Sprint 1. It's what you're going to accomplish in Sprint 1. To facilitate that, you want to look at your features, look at your user stories, and pick off enough, just enough, to be able to do in Sprint 1. It might just be one user story, or it might be 1 or 2. It certainly should not be more than 4 user stories. And and then make that your goal. All right, the next thing to do is to prepare a definition of done. And you want to go to page 74. There's a table there that has a lot of stuff that you're not going to be able to do. I want you to be realistic here. It's doubtful, for example, that you're going to be able to do refactoring because this is not an implementation course. We just want you to be realistic and include in your definition of done the items that you'll be able to accomplish. So what you're going to include will be definitely less than what's there. Then you want to work on your sprint backlog. And so your highest priority product backlog items, these will be your, most likely, your earliest slides in your user stories PowerPoint with estimates, the one that you estimated. So those estimates will basically tell you which items. So I want you to keep it simple. That's very important, especially in this first sprint. We're just trying to go through the process. So anyway, for each product backlog item, which would be a feature, a list of features, you want to break them down into tasks and effort hours. And you want to create an Excel spreadsheet that's similar to the one on page 345. So you basically want to take each row in your spreadsheet would correspond to a feature, and then you'll break it down by column into the various tasks, and save that as we're doing here. Just looking at page 345, there's a sum of effort hours. I recommend you use 10 hours per week per person. So if it's a team of 4 people, 40 hours per week, and then there's 3 weeks in the sprint, so that would be 40 times 3, or 120 effort hours. And you want to break this thing down by those effort hours. Now we are executing the sprint, so you want to read chapter 20 here, and then there's a reference, and another video. And what you're doing here is creating a task board, and that'll be similar to what's shown on page 356. And you can see, if you turn to page 356, that the the column where you have your product backlog items, your features, in other words, your stories, goes across farther. There are things to do for each item, product backlog item, but then there are things in progress. Everybody should have something working in progress. And then as things get completed, you move them into the tasks completed column. So this thing should be set up in such a way that everyone in the group, on the team, can access it and be responsible for their part of it and moving things around. So as they take a task that's in progress and they complete it, they'd want to move that to the tasks completed column and then pick off another task to do and move it into the in progress column. And eventually all the tasks to do for a particular feature will have moved out of the to-do column and will have moved out of the in progress column, in which case they're completed. So I suggest that no one be involved with more than two things, and you want to create this as a spreadsheet unless you have another idea. You could use Trello or some other tool that you're familiar with, but if not, just use an Excel spreadsheet. It's probably the easiest way. And then use Google. You can upload it to Google, converting it to a Google spreadsheet. And once it's a Google spreadsheet, everybody can share it. Either that, or you can put it out at Dropbox, or you can put it in your file share, your file exchange, your group file exchange, and get a hold of it that way. But everybody should be able to access this item, and everybody should be able to edit it, and being responsible for their particular pieces. Now on this screen, I show you on the right a task board that I downloaded from Mountain Goat, and on the left, the equivalent to it, it's not complete, done in Excel. And so that's what I recommend. This thing over here is what I recommend you do. And what's here actually corresponds to this. Yeah, and then, this part of it, I just start down here. Okay, back again. Now we're looking at Thursday, the 22nd. Is it the 22nd? No, I'm sorry. The 20th. Thursday the 20th. We're going to have a whole class Blackboard Collaborate session. I'd like everyone to arrive on time and be prepared for this. And I'm going to turn it over to you once I introduce the session, say hello and all that sort of thing. So what I want you to do as a team is to put up your task board on the whiteboard, and then each person on the team should speak out saying what they did this week, what they will do next week, what obstacles are in your way, if any, and how confident you are that the team will accomplish the goal of this sprint. And you might want to just put that on a scale of 1 to 10. So that's what we're talking about right here. So to be able to do this, I suggest strongly that everyone do this ahead of time and rehearse it. Find a time where you can meet as a group, where you can create a Collaborate session, go into your group Collaborate session and bring the task board to the whiteboard, and then speak. And I would record it and make sure everybody can do it. Make sure your mic is set and so on, so that it can go smoothly. Down below that, we have sprint execution, and now we have some coding going on. The coders are going to be busy. So the people who are non-coders need to be taking responsibility for the non-coding artifacts and items. such as this task board and coordinating meetings and times. So the coders want to assign themselves to the coding task. It's going to be in the task board, and move it through as it gets done. So the coder is going to be probably on that line item in the task board, and the non-coders are going to be doing the other things. So what's due? There's a thread entitled Sprint Planning for Saturday. There's a reply. And then there's the sprint backlog and the task board that are to be submitted by the team. One person on the team can do the submitting, as you have been doing. As always, you can send any questions to me via email, and I'll be glad to reply to them, but it might take up to 24 hours for me to do that. Thank you.